Okay, guys, welcome back to a new video here. Today I was watching the PBD podcast and I was absolutely stunned with some of the things they were talking about. They gave a grade on Trump's 100 days, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, they usually do 24/7 Trump cover up. They love everything he does pretty much. But I was stunned with the grades they gave. I honestly thought when they were talking about it, it would be A pluses across the board, maybe an A minus from Adam. That's what I was thinking, but no. It was quite the opposite. I was absolutely stunned. PBD gave a C minus. A C minus, and I know they talk. Trump's definitely going to see that, I would think. He's not going to be happy with him. And got to be fair. Respect to that, because, I mean, again, you can debate whether or not C minus is even low enough. I think it's fair to say. But C minus, the guy Tom gave a C plus, Adam gave a C plus, and they had the guest on there who gave a C. And, of course, Vinny gave the most generous score, a B minus, which is absolutely hilarious. I've literally never heard him say one negative thing about Trump other than the Epstein shit, which is, again, they were talking about that once again on the podcast. And I think it's pretty fair. And we're going to show you the clip and the segment from the PBD podcast where they talked about this. Guys, I'm sorry, specifically on the Epstein stuff, people were disappointed with the Trump administration on that. I mean, first of all, it is ridiculous. I mean, they promised they would release it. Why is anybody surprised they would not release it? They didn't do it the first time. Why would they do it the second time? Trump, when he was asked about Ghislaine Maxwell in his first term when she was first arrested, his comment was, "I wish her well." When he's been pressed by numerous people, like Tucker Carlson, for example, about releasing the Epstein files, his response is, "Oh, we'll see." Like, it's very non-committal on these things. So I'm not sure why these people are super surprised this hasn't been released. And again, Trump is a known friend of Epstein in the past. Again, who knows what his real relationship is? There's rumors he was as close with him even in his first administration, but again, that remains to be seen. Who knows the full truth behind that? But again, the main storyline, the PBD podcast, pretty viciously attacking Trump, ripping his first 100 days, and some of the arguments they made, I think, were a little ridiculous. The planning was good, and that just the execution was a problem. Some of the arguments were ridiculous. But let's just get into the full clip, and then we'll talk about it after. Here's a full segment from the PBD podcast today of them absolutely ripping Trump's first 100 days. So here's a clip, and we'll talk about it after. And guys, make sure to like and subscribe. It's super good for the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button. Patreon and Amazon links are in the description as well. So check that out. Here's a clip. Let's talk about it after.
Okay, since I don't have it, I'll go to anybody. Tom, first 100 days, Trump, what do you give him?
Overall, first 100 days, I give it a C+, and I get there this way. An A- on the plan, but a C- on the execution. I thought he got too many things going at once, picking on the Fed, Powell, but I gave the plan an A, but the execution got messy. And so overall, I give it a C+.
Adam.
I'm right there with Tom, actually, C+, because, it's almost like a team that starts off 10-0. My beloved Miami Heat start off 10-0, and then all of a sudden they go on a 10-game losing streak. But I didn't just go like, this is the grade. I actually went sort of by the most important issues that he talked about. The economy, inflation, immigration, the border, wokeness, DEI, foreign policy, peace through strength, crime, law and order, energy dependence. So each of these categories got a different grade. And I thought that the first, month was awesome. He was signing all these executive orders. He's doing his thing. And then April 2nd, Liberation Day, where he liberated America of like $5 trillion worth of wealth. And nobody saw it coming. So I don't understand the methodology for what he was doing with Liberation Day. It would have been better if he just dressed up as Liberace Day and started doing a samba dance or something like that. All right, cool, we'll deal with that. But Liberation Day has backfired.
Viva,
so
what do you give him?
not improving right now.
I'm in the line of C only because it has not been a total catastrophe and it hasn't been a smashing success with only W's. It started off strong with pardoning the Jan 6ers and fulfilling a campaign promise to right that wrong in as much as humanly possible. You got RFK in, and you got RFK and Tulsi doing their thing, which is fantastic. On the immigration issue, he's going hard, being stopped by the courts, but going hard nonetheless and sensitizing America to how serious the problem is and how compromised and weaponized the courts are. Where it gets weak is, I'm going to focus on the Epstein just because, as far as I'm concerned, it's sort of that was a litmus test promise of the campaign, where Pam Bondi, illustrating that she's either over her head, unqualified, or there's something more sinister going on, making bold and big promises and then fumbling those and leading to more questions than answers. Like, they were supposed to release those documents, and now, instead of releasing the documents, the Epstein files, the lead witness is dead within the same period of time. And so you'll have your questions about that, but that was a campaign promise that, by not fulfilling, will lead to skepticism among the hardest of the hardcore base. But by and large, it's been transformational thus far. There's room for improvement, and if he starts off with an A, then where does he go from there?
Well, as we all know, the last time he was the president, he came in, he was being spied on, and the Russia collusion thing happened. He couldn't be the president because he had to worry about that for 4 years. Now that he comes in, he has to worry about the 4 years of just the destruction that the Biden administration, I don't want to say Joe Biden, his administration did to get us all those things at him. The invasion, where all the mass deportation, all the inflation, the economy. He was left with crap. But if you think about it, the border is secured. Have you seen the border shut down? Okay, mass deportation. I don't give it. I want everybody to get the hell out of here. And we're gonna get into the judge stuff later. Tariffs reinstated. Which, guys, these deals behind closed doors, the India, the Apple thing, everything's happening. Everybody's panicking. They need to chill with all that. Signing the federal law banning biological men from playing with women. All the stuff. Declaring cartels terrorists and all that. I think he's doing a good job. I'm going B- because I'm with Viva again. I still believe like the accountability matters. And if we're going to be clean house, you have to clean all of it.
Vinny, why isn't he an A? Because you just were like, he did this.
Because I'm with him. When you promise something to me, and you know, you guys know where I stand when it comes to children and what they've done to children, and you just nailed it. The number one accuser of Epstein, of Ghislaine Maxwell, of Prince Andrew, the last one, she suicided herself. After she was hit by a bus, she looked like she was beaten up. She recovers, and then she wants to kill herself after she wrote a tweet saying she wouldn't do it. That to me is the biggest travesty, and I've said it before. Let justice be done and may the heavens fall. I don't care if we're built on that blackmail and that disgustingness, and you promise it to me. That's a B- for me because I want them all exposed because that's what we're sitting on.
Okay,
B-.
so let's go through the way I'm grading this. Okay. To me, if you look at the way we grade everybody that's here with us, it goes off of A. A stands for attitude. I love his attitude. I think he's having fun. I think he's playing loose. I give him an A for attitude. Effort, he's working his ass off. Nobody is sitting there wondering if this guy's working or not, period. Teamwork, his team is working very well together collectively, better than what it was the first time around. Not a lot of people have been fired. It's not been as chaotic as it was before in regards to how the team was. Before, you're like, you couldn't know who to trust, any of that stuff. And then you have innovation, creative, some of the stuff that they're proposing, Greenland, all this other stuff. I give it an A as well for that. But results, it's C-. To me, their grade right now is C- on results. First 100 days. When you go purely with results, we were told day one, there's going to be peace with Russia and Ukraine. It's day 100. There's no peace there.
Of course, they're fighting.
Of course. I thought there was going to be a deal being done there. I thought the mineral deal was going to be gone. It's taking too long. The negotiation with Greenland, we needed that, or we needed Ukraine, or we needed something with minerals. Not done. Panama was supposed to close. Hasn't closed yet. Is America safer than ever before in the last 4 years? Absolutely. It's safer border. People are not coming across. Tom Homan's doing his job there. No problem. Cash Patel, on day, Glenn Beck is here. Yep. In 2 weeks, I'm telling you, in 2 weeks, nothing happened there. Okay, and Glenn Beck was just with the president last week doing an interview in the Oval Office together. Okay, you got Epstein stuff. People that voted that wanted Epstein. What happened with that? It's not out yet. Are we supposed to forget about it? There was a massive community that specifically voted because they wanted people to be held accountable. Fauci, is there going to be accountability with Fauci? We don't know yet. The trade war, on how chaotic it is right now, someone's got to close the deal, whoever it is. If someone's got to get on a flight and go and negotiate, someone's got to do it. Next one, threats. When you threat Iran, if you do this, I'm telling you, Hamas, if you do this, I don't want to see my president keep threatening without being able to deliver on the threats. The more and more you keep saying threat, and nothing's happening, what are we looking at? I'm not okay with that. So in regard, Tom.
24-hour Gaza.
Yeah.
On that same list.
In regards to results, it's a C-. And I voted for this guy in 16, in 20, and 24. Gladly. Happy I did, and it's a C- today. I hope right now, and it's not, again, remember, it's not because of attitude. It's the best attitude he's had.
Okay, guys, I don't know about you, but I find that super interesting. The fact that you have three guys, and this is a right-wing podcast, who 90% of the stories is very pro-Trump, and basically his first 100 days, they're not impressed. They're not impressed in the slightest. And again, the fact that these guys are giving C-, what is the independent voter thinking? What is the general electorate thinking? Well, they're not thinking very highly. They're giving a 38%. That's what his new poll numbers were in I think it was an ABC poll. And there's some polls, there's some fluctuation, obviously, but it's between 38 and 43%, which is historically unprecedentedly low for this point in a presidential administration. So this goes to show you how serious the administration is flying. And again, he claims, oh, this is the greatest 100 days ever. Everyone's claiming it. No, they're not claiming that. That's why your approval wouldn't be this low. And again, they just say it's fake polls, just fire the pollster. And again, it's the Roy Cohn method, just deny. They could be at 5% approval rating, and they'll say they're at 60. Nothing matters. The truth does not. We live in a post-modern society. We live in a post-truth world. We just do. And I want to talk about specifically some of the arguments they were making. First of all, the common theme they're making is the planning was great. The planning was great. The planning was great. Why did you release ridiculous tariff numbers of trade deficits, basically saying, okay, we're going to tariff you because of these random calculations? The planning was ridiculous. The planning of the tariffs, just putting it on a board that tanked the stock market, it made no sense to do it that way. It was completely disorganized. And as far as the team working together, the team was not working together at all. You have Howard Lutnick and Scott Besson. You have all these guys going out giving differing statements. They've not been consistent in their messaging whatsoever. And then PBD says, oh, no one's been fired, less chaos. Well, maybe people should be fired because of the Signalgate fiasco. Maybe you should actually fire people when they screw up at their jobs. Like, if again, the thing with the Pete Hegseth thing with the Signalgate scandal, if it was any other random government official or rank and file, they would be fired immediately, maybe even prosecuted. So I'm not sure what the argument is. Oh, he hasn't fired anyone. That's a good thing. Well, sometimes you have to fire people. So I don't really understand that. And again, the common thing we see, they're attacking the economy. Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's pretty indefensible the way he's handled the economy so far. And as far as and I'm surprised that PPD actually brought this up. And I think, hey, credit to him for bringing it up. Yeah, on day one, we're going to get Russia-Ukraine done. That war's still going on. That's number one. Number two, we're going to get Israel-Gaza done. That's nowhere near done. In fact, we could have a war with Iran. And let's see what happens with the Iran negotiations. If Trump gets a deal with Iran there, I'll give him credit for that, even though it's kind of ridiculous that he literally pulled out of a similar deal what the Obama administration did with Iran. But okay, let's just I'll take the deal with Iran over an actual war with Iran. Okay, so fine. Vinny's thing is, okay, the Epstein stuff, which, I mean, again, notice how they do not care about the due process or the attack on deporting people for exercising their free speech. You don't really care about that, which is kind of ridiculous if you ask me, but okay, fine. Vinny gives a B- talking about the Epstein stuff. And I agree, it's ridiculous the way the administration has handled the Epstein files, especially when you have these clowns going on there. Kash Patel on day one, we're going to release the Epstein files. Here we are, day 100, nothing. We don't even hear anything from the administration about that. They released old files that were already out to the public. So the hypocrisy of the administration is bizarre. And again, PBD brings up his attitude. Oh, his attitude is great. He's working hard. That's the first thing he brings up when he's talking about his first 100 days. That's probably not a good sign. It's probably not a good sign. Who the hell cares if your attitude is great? I'd hope so. You're the president of the United States. I mean, the entire thing is just ridiculous to me. I mean, it's pretty scathing that they're giving this low of a score. And the thing is, guys, wait just 2 weeks. The prices go way up from tariffs. His approval is going to go even more down. And again, I do think there's like 25 to 30% who, I mean, he could literally drop an atomic bomb in Mexico and he would have 25 to 30%. It's just never going to lose that base of support. But there's going to come a point where if the economy keeps tanking, and by the way, speaking of the wars, you might have another war in India and Pakistan coming up. So I'm just very curious to see the guy who prevents all wars. Is that just not going to count? I mean, we'll see what happens with that. So pretty scathing statements from the PBD podcast. And you got to give them credit because at least they're being objective in their sense that, I mean, I really thought they did just give B+, A minus. No, they gave a C-, C+ across the board. So super interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you surprised to hear this? Do you think they're going to change? I mean, I don't know, but I thought it was super interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe. Super good for the algorithm. Patreon link, check that out as well, and Amazon link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.